Jadon Sancho is finally, officially a Man United player, and I'm taking a look at 3 reasons why I think he will be a great signing. So the biggest advantage of having Jadon Sancho in this Manchester United team is of course the amount of goals and assists that he is going to bring to the table, which ultimately will take some much needed pressure off other players that's been a long time coming. You look at last season and Bruno Fernandes practically carried Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team at times when it came to goals and assists alongside the likes of Marcus Rashford. Fernandes finished the season with 28 goals and 18 assists, meanwhile Rashford finished with 12 goals and 12 assists. There's no way that they could have carried on like that. The stars of the side needed some more support, and that is hopefully what Jadon Sancho will bring. Now, in the past, Paul Pogba and Anthony Martial have provided quite a lot of goals. Recently, they've kind of fallen off the radar a little bit. Hopefully, they can reclaim some of that form. Then, of course, you have Edinson Cavani, who's already proven himself to be such a prolific goal scorer for Manchester United, even though he was only there actually a few months. And then you add Sancho to it. This will not only improve the goal tally, this is without even considering what Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford will bring to the table. And it will just give those players that were relied on so much that little bit of help. Now, I cannot see Jadon Sancho necessarily swooping in and taking Bruno Fernandes' penalties. I think he will be sticking to those for now at least. But when it comes to set pieces, goals and assists, Sancho will be able to help not just the midfield, but that front three in making it so much stronger. Sancho's last 2 seasons with Dortmund have resulted in 40 assists and 36 goals, as he's broken numerous records at the age of only 21. At the end of the day, if Manchester United want to keep up with the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea in the league, they need a player like Jadon Sancho. Last season, they had 11 draws. That was 11 games that could have resulted in a win had they have just had that one player on the pitch that could have created that little bit of magic and got them that needed goal. And Sancho is definitely the player that can really bring that to the table. Last season in the Premier League, Manchester City scored 10 more goals than them in the league. So having Sancho to add to the numbers and catch up to teams like Manchester City is going to be absolutely vital if this Manchester United team truly want to be competing for silverware. Another one of the great things that comes with having Sancho in this Man United team is actually the future of Mason Greenwood. Now, I know when Sancho was announced, there were a lot of people actually a little bit concerned about Mason Greenwood. Obviously, we are used to seeing him playing in that right wing position, and people were wondering, does this mean that his talent is going to be perhaps stifled? Does it mean less playing time for him, etc.? Well, actually, this signing is probably one of the best things that could have happened to Mason Greenwood. Now, before he burst onto the scene with the Manchester United first team, Greenwood was actually a centre forward and he was scoring some amazing goals. So between the years of 2017 and 2019, Mason Greenwood was of course playing in the Under-18s Premier League and Premier League 2. And in that time frame, he managed 33 goals and 11 assists playing as a centre forward. So you pair this with the fact that he's now a little bit older, he's got so much more experience under his belt, and the potential that he has now for Manchester United's first team in the centre forward role is pretty exciting. And when you look at who Manchester United already have in that position, it's not going to be difficult for him to slot in. Of course, as I've stated, they've got Edinson Cavani, but he is 34 years of age. Whilst he is still fantastic in front of goal, he's not going to be playing 90 minutes of every single game, which means that there will certainly be time for Mason Greenwood, and also playing alongside a brilliant player like Cavani will also be great for Greenwood's development. And then there's Anthony Martial. There have been some brilliant moments from him in a Man United shirt, and I think it's safe to say there's also been some pretty terrible moments, if we're all being honest with ourselves. And in fact, I think Greenwood could even trump him for a spot in a starting 11, because last season he simply was not up to scratch. And hopefully having Greenwood as a little bit of competition in this area of the pitch will hopefully get him back to the form that we have all seen him in before and we know he can achieve. So when you look at that area of the pitch, there's actually not that much competition, and there is definitely more than enough room there for Mason Greenwood to slot in and have a really good go at getting back to being a centre forward. And also not forgetting the right wing, because as much as Jadon Sancho will be the first player on the team sheet for that area of the pitch, he's not going to be playing 90 minutes of every single game. So at times I'm sure he can still fill in that position alongside the likes of Daniel James. It's been a while since Manchester United have had an out-and-out centre forward that is competent, reliable, and has actually risen through the ranks of their youth system. And the idea of Greenwood dovetailing with Rashford and Sancho coming off their wings is pretty special, and this could actually give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the tactical fluidity that he really does need to be competing with the elite clubs in Europe. So thanks to Sancho's arrival and him taking over this area of the right wing, if Mason Greenwood can now prove himself as a centre-forward this season, then this could mean that Man United do not need to continue their hunt for a world-class striker, because they could actually already have one who could make the position his own for a decade, if not longer, if they're lucky. And the final reason why Jadon Sancho's arrival at Manchester United is going to be so important for this team is actually to do with their right back. Now, since the departure of Cristiano Ronaldo, over 10 years ago now, there have been so many different tried and tested combinations when it comes to the right side of the pitch and linking up the right wing with the right back. I mean, looking at some of the players over the years, you look at the right wing and yes, there was Angel Di Maria. That was a bit of a disaster, to be honest. Henrik Mkhitaryan, Antonio Valencia, Jesse Lingard, Juan Mata, Gabriel Obertan. Then you look at the right backs and there's been Valencia again, Ashley Young, Matteo Darmian, Rafael, Fabio, etc. And it's been such a long time since United have had a truly strong right winger and right back. Until now. So since the arrival of wan-bissaka back in 2019, he has been pretty busy. In his first 2 seasons, he's already managed 100 appearances. And since the departures of Valencia and Ashley Young, Wan-Bissaka has injected some much needed youth and skill into that area of the pitch. Defensively, he's been great. Still some work to do, but there is more work that's needed to be done when it comes to him surging forward in attack. And I think one of the main issues that he's faced is that he hasn't actually had an out-and-out right winger for him to work with. Whilst Greenwood has been good with Wan-Bissaka, they haven't been able to combine truly effectively. And like I say, Greenwood is not a natural right winger, so what this means is that he tends to drift more into the penalty box rather than hugging the touchline like a traditional right winger. And this is why Wan-Bissaka maybe isn't getting the best out of his attacking game. But now with Sancho in the team, I really do think that this can change. What Sancho's arrival will do is give Wan-Bissaka the chance to really improve his link-up and attacking play. He'll get more chances to offer overlaps and to get some crosses in, and what this will bring is some much-needed balance when it comes to Man United's forward play, because for so long now, we have been seeing it slanted way too much to the left with Marcus Rashford and of course Luke Shaw playing. And the best thing about this is that it's not even a short-term fix, but a long-term one. Sancho is the future of Man United's right wing, and Wan-Bissaka is the future of the right back position. Now, who knows if it will happen instantly, the connection between the two. Maybe it will take a little bit of work, but I'm sure when it does finally click, it will be worth the wait. The thing that is so exciting about Jadon Sancho linking up with Wan-Bissaka is if you cast your minds back to Manchester United back in the 1999 season when they won that treble, if you can remember it, one of the best combinations on the pitch that we saw was between David Beckham and Gary Neville. Now, I'm not saying that Jadon Sancho and Wan-Bissaka equals a treble for Manchester United, but finally getting that balance on that right side of the pitch, as I've stated, is going to be so important if this team truly wants to be competing for silverware. So those are my reasons why Jadon Sancho is such a great signing for Man United. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. As always, check out all the other content that we've got here. And until next time, I will see you all later.